Okay, there we are. So today is riding day. This is Wednesday. We're heading out and we're gonna go we're gonna give you an idea of how long it takes to do something. Now we're starting here in Rapid City. But we already got some of the back roads. We probably got a little bit more of a shortcut. So you're basically looking, if you're coming from Sturgis, you gotta add another 30 to 45 minutes. That's if you're not going down the 90. If you're going to take some of the back roads, that's going to add more time. The goal is to try to get into Custer State Park before 9 o'clock because the herd will move early in the morning and settle down. So we're heading in, we'll pay, and then we're going to go over to the visitor center, and usually there they will have, the rangers have called and said where the bison are at. Sometimes we found them on Iron Mountain Road. So you never know where they might be. There's no fun to ride all the way through the park and you find out they were on Iron Mountain or they were somewhere else. So there you go. That's what we're doing. We're getting on the bike. And who are we riding with today?
We're riding with Chip, and he's from Rapid City. He's a local here. Say hi,
hey,
Chip.
everybody. We're going to make you jealous.
So today's supposed to get up in the 80s. It's kind of cool a little bit this morning, but they're talking this weekend. We're going to break 100 degrees here. So like once again, we always tell you, you never know what the temperatures are going to be in the Black Hills.
That's right.
Let's get going.
Yes, we ended up doing that, but I also went some other roads and I didn't see that sign. But there was a mama bison giving birth.
Oh, that was pretty cool, I bet, huh?
Really cool.
Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah, and last night,
Here at the visitor center, checking in. We're gonna try to see if we can find out where those bison are hiding at. They usually get a report here in the morning, a couple times during the day, to find out where they're at. It's always a great place to stop. That way you're not wandering around and never seeing them. So right now they are charging $20. I don't think, the last couple years they haven't been giving any discount for motorcycles. If you're gonna be here for a while, the pass is good for 7 days. You get an annual pass. If you're a resident, for $40. If you're a
Non-resident, 60.
Yep. So let's go inside and see what it is. Coming in, it was, we came down, I don't know what that road was, what they call that.
Spring Creek, I think, something like that.
Well, we turned off of that, and that was about 10 miles down. Then we made a right on the 79, and that was 9 miles. And then we made a right on
the 36.
And that was about 9 miles too. So just kind of give you an idea. Right now, let me look at my clock. It is
8:50.
Yep. So it's 8:50.
We
So
left at 8:15 from when we talked to you the first time.
there you go. So there's our time to ticking. So we're stopping here. This is going to take a few minutes to go inside, see what's going on, see if we can find a ranger.
All right, you can find out. I'm going to go find it.
He wrote a lot of poetry here in the park. It was his cabin. What the view where he lived.
So which is the bigger herd that they're at, this one or that one?
So
This is 3 bulls,
So
Okay.
if you take,
and that one's an
16A
iffy.
Okay.
We haven't had a good
down
report
here.
today.
Okay.
And there's
But they're
signs.
out there. We have
Well, we know they're somewhere.
1,500 of them.
Sometimes they're hiding. I've found them out on Iron Mountain, and sometimes they're at the far end of the. Do they have the park
And
closed?
there's a trail. Yeah, and there's a small
A couple years ago, they had this side closed off, and they
that
were.
was 4 years ago. 'Cause
Okay,
they
was it
started
4?
a new approach, management approach, about 4 years ago.
and the rest.
So we're inside the visitor center. They have not gotten a report. So the two little bison that was on the display there on Iron Mountain, there's 3 bulls that were over there, and there was 1 female they seen in the other area. So right now the herd is probably moving, and they haven't been able to get a distinctive area for sure where they're at. So I guess we're going to have to go look and see what we can find. So we're following the Jeeps. They turned on that road right there. It looks like that road's more of the prairie dog road. We'll see if they go down farther. If they go down farther, we'll journey down there, but it is a rock road. So we'll hang out here a few minutes and see what they're going to do.
See out there in them there hills.
Bison. They're not very close, though.
No, not really. There's some more up there, but we'll see. He says, "What are you looking at?"
Can't charge us up here. So that first herd we seen was about 100 of them. They're telling us if we stay on the wildlife loop this way, we'll see the big herd is down there. So let's go see if we can find them. Got an itch. 3.
This is what is this?
Wrangler.
Wrangler burger. Barbecue sauce, bacon, cheese, 2 cheeses.
Onion strips.
Onion strips on top.
Yep, onion strips. And I won't put my dill pickles on my burger. That'll ruin it. So.
You'll eat it.
What'd you get?
I got some soup, which is I think it's
Chili something.
chili, buffalo chili. So I don't know if it's buffalo meat, but we'll see. And then we got the bacon cheeseburger.
So we kind of made things turned around a little bit today. We made a wrong turn coming out at Custer State Park. So we ended up coming over here to Custer after we did the park. So we went ahead and ate. We've ate here before, but what's it called?
Bugle and Bull.
And so we got a bacon cheeseburger, and you've seen all that stuff. That all flashed up here. I mean, I'll flash it up now, because we didn't really say that's what we had. So we'll flash all that up, show you what we have. And we came with one of our subscribers. He came along too. And
Thank you for lunch.
Yep, we appreciate that. And I forgot what I was going to say.
What about the burger?
Yep. So we got the burger, and it's just another one again. It was all right. Nothing special. It was a little dried out. Bacon and stuff. The fries were a little well done for me. You probably liked them. A little well done. It was okay. That's about all I could say. It's not going to be one of the top 3 though.
Still not making it. Nope.
There you go. So what's next? We're going to head over now to Iron Mountain and get that done. And then maybe tomorrow, we'll probably come back and do Needles Highway, go back down here to the purple, pink, crazy pie place.
Purple pie shop.
Whatever. And maybe have a pie there, because everybody always says, you got to go there. So probably that'll be tomorrow. So today we're heading right now to Needles Highway, and it's already getting to be, I don't know what time it is.
12:30.
Yeah, so 12:30, so not too bad on time. We probably could have made it back around again, but don't want to be driving in the evening, so we'll see how it all turns out. But it ended up being in Custer. We had to do quite a bit of driving around the state park to find all the bison. And luckily I didn't listen to one lady, because they told me if you went out the outer loop out the back side of the park, we would, that's what the park ranger told me. The second one we talked to said that's where they were at. So then I talked to a van with a bunch of people, and they're like, there's nothing out there but a bunch of donkeys. That's it. Donkeys, that's it.
We just came that way, and there's nothing out there.
And it's like, well, we got nothing to lose. And we end up seeing 2 different groups of the bison. Probably didn't see all 1,500, but we probably seen a good 500 to 750 of them today.
Yep, at least that, yeah.
Good crowd. So yeah, not too bad. So it's pretty good, and none of them got. Yeah, we had one
was running down the road.
I don't know if we got that on video. I didn't have my camera on, but he was coming. There was a pickup truck. He was behind him. So I'm kind of like, okay. He's kind of looking at us like, okay, what are you guys gonna do? So I kind of went over towards the front of the pickup truck head on, and then the bison he ran across, and I think Tam got him after he crossed the road. But no big deal. Did you panic then when you seen him chasing us?
I was panicked because you didn't hit your brakes. I was like, stop.
It's harder for the bison to hit a moving target. So I'm okay with that. We've been around the bison. We really didn't have any of them this time get as close as we normally get. Most time we could almost stick our hand out and pet them. Which of course, we don't pet the fluffy cows. Unless you're at the Full Throttle Saloon and our buddy shows up again there with another baby. And if you're out there when he's there, we'll have to give him a call and see if he's coming out this year. The last 2 years he's been out there at the Full Throttle, and he brings a baby bison. He's actually from Arizona, and he specializes in any bison, buffalo you've seen in movies have come from his ranch out in Tucson. So kind of cool, and we'll have to give him a call and see if he's coming this year. And we can make an agreement to hook up with him and show you that, and maybe we'll tell everybody when he's going to be there to where you can go out to the Full Throttle and you can pet a bison. You can pet that fluffy cow.
A baby one.
What is it?
A baby fluffy cow.
That's right. It's special. So let's jump on the bikes. Let's get on back there, back to Custer State Park. We'll go past the visitor center again, and then we'll go out of the gate again, and then we'll hit Iron Mountain. And the reason you want to hit Iron Mountain that way, because if you come from the other end, from the Hill City side, you have your back to the President's. You've got to come through that lower end, down by the entrance there, go up, and you'll see it through 2 different tunnels. You see the President's heads. So let's get to it.
Let's go.
So where you at now?
We're at Iron Mountain Store, which is called Spokane Creek. They have a campground here, a little store. If you want an Iron Mountain t-shirt that shows all the curves and everything, this is where you need to come.
That's where I get all my shirts. Great place. We've ate here a few times. They do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They also have a campground here. They have cabins. If you want to stay right in the middle of Iron Mountain. From our end where we just came from, we haven't got through any of the tunnels or anything like that. They start as we get up the hill here. But this is kind of like one of the only other places you can kind of stop and check out. Take a little break. Use the bathroom. All that kind of good stuff.
Buy your t-shirt.
Do what?
Buy your t-shirt. So be careful. Careful coming around the mountains.
No petting the buffalo. No fluffy cow. Stay away from fluffy cow because he stab you. Oops. Almost took a nose. So they got a little cafe here too. We've had breakfast here and lunch and dinner, and so it's kind of cool. And like I say, they got the store over here, which is really cool. So we get our shirts. This year they got a really big selection of shirts. Last year they were slow at getting them in. This year they are full. So make sure you stop by and get that Iron Mountain t-shirt. Hey, we got a whole bunch. They got long sleeves, they got tank tops, they've got jackets, they got his and her shirts, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely worth it. And the owner's pretty busy today, not able to talk to us and tell us a little bit about it. We talked to him a couple years ago. They got cabins out here. You can bring your RV out here. But I mean, it's really cool. It's a great stop. I always love stopping here. Every single time we're on Iron Mountain, we always stop here. Standing in front of one of my favorite signs here with the #1 ride you just got to have is Iron Mountain. And remember, you got to come in from the Custer State Park side. If not, you're not going to get to see the president's heads.
Through the tunnels.
That's right. Mount Rushmore. Pretty cool. There's actually another place along here you can stop. I don't think we've seen it yet. There's a pull-off, too, that you can kind of see. And then there's another. Actually, there's like 3 places you can stop and see the heads. So kind of cool. Well, I don't think we've seen one yet. We'll try to stop at both of those and show you where those are at. You can stop and check it out. We rode by them for years, never stopped, and a couple times we did stop in that parking lot. Didn't know you could walk across the street and you could get this great view. So we'll show you where that's at. But it's really cool here just to kind of give you a rundown what it was. You know, we started out this morning about a little bit after 8 o'clock when we left from the campground that we're at. We're at Rushmore Shadows, which is just up from the reptile and the Bearzilla and all that kind of stuff.
Bear country.
Yep. So just up from that. So we went down and we met
Chip.
Down at the right where you would turn to go to, what's that campground called?
Heart Ranch.
Yeah, where Heart Ranch is at. We'll have to put down here what the name of that street is because we don't remember what it is.
Yoke Road.
There you go. Let some ATVs drive by. You can drive them on the road if you got plates. No plates, can't ride them on the road. So we got there. So we pretty much got down here. We left there at 8:30. Well, actually, I left there at 8:15, and it took us about 15 minutes to get over to the highway we turned off
79.
and that took us in here.
No, that was the 36.
Okay. So we came through Heart Ranch there, came out and we hit the 79. We made a right there, then got down to the
36.
We made a right there. Right when we turned on there, we were right about 8:30. So it took us about 15 minutes to get from where we were at. That was 10 miles and then 9 miles. Then we turned there and it's 9 more miles to get into Custer State Park. We paid, had to wait in line, all that kind of stuff. It was about 9 o'clock when we started. So driving around, we followed those Jeeps a little bit. You've seen that. They took us by. We did find one herd with them. Then they showed us the prairie dogs. After that, we're like, forget that. We'll move on. Stopped and checked a few places. Nobody seemed to really know where they were at. One person said at the little place where the Johnny on the spots are at, the pit toilets there, another informational center, that small one there. They kind of said that they had seen herd bison out on the loop, which is the part we hadn't did, which took you out on the far end of Custer. Once again, these where I'm telling you they're at probably aren't going to be here when you get here.
When you go.
You got to do your homework too when you get here. I'm just telling you that's how we found them. So on the way out, we seen 2 other herds. We probably altogether, we probably seen about 1,000 of them. The first group was about 100. The next group we seen was probably about 250 to 300. And the next group was really big. So a lot of, we got to see a really good bunch of them.
Lots of babies right now.
Yep, they're really here. We didn't get to film it though. There was one of the bison, which you heard when we did the lunch, was actually heading straight at us. The truck was kind of chasing him. So I was like, Chip wanted to know why I didn't stop, and it's like, well, it's a whole lot easier for them to hit a moving target than us sitting still. So he kind of looked at us, and he looked like he was going to jiggle back and forth across the road. I moved to go head on with the truck camper, and I knew he'd stop. And then the bison made a quick right, and then Tam got her camera on, and she was able to catch him there coming across. So
I might have got him in the middle of the street there a minute.
we'll have to wait until I get there and find out if we got it or not. So out there, we were pretty much done there about 11:30. So that pretty much shows you from 9 to 10 to 11, about 2.5 hours, we drove around Custer trying to find all the bison. Give or take, you know, depending on how long you're there, how many of the roads you want to drive on, there's a lot of roads. You could probably spend all day and never hit them all.
Right.
So got there, we went over to Custer. We made a wrong turn when we came out of the back lot. We should have made a right on 16A, and we made a left on the 87. And that took us into Custer. So we decided, well, go ahead, let's go have lunch there, turn around, and we came back. So here we hit Iron Mountain again, and now we're gonna go up Iron Mountain. I don't know if we're gonna get to Needles Highway today. We may save that for tomorrow, do Needles Highway, then go back down to Custer and go
To the Purple Pie Shop.
Yep, and have maybe some pie. Everybody always recommends that. We ate there last year. It was pretty good. So we'll probably go back again this year and check that out again. So that kind of gives you a rundown of where we're at. Right now, we came in here, got some t-shirts, and you've seen that video. Right now, it's 1:48. So by the time we get done with this, it's probably going to be close to probably 3 o'clock by the time we get done, because we're going to stop at the tunnels and do some shots there and talk there.
We might stop in Keystone and get an ice cream or something, and we'll
What?
tell you what time it is there.
What?
When we get to Keystone. Well, we got to stop and tell them what time it is.
What?
And get an ice cream while we're there. Why not?
So the whole goal was originally to start out, do Custer State Park, come back out, which I would have made a right instead, came back down, hit Iron Mountain, looped around Iron Mountain, came back down, hit Needles Highway, go back down there, then we would have made a right out of there and went on into Custer. And then we could have just came straight on back from Custer. Could have took the 385, which is open now. If you watched the video yesterday, you would have seen 385 is open. It's not that bad. It's a mile and a half. No problem. I would have had no problem riding the bike, and even Tam said she'd probably ride her bike on it if she gets down here at this end. Waiting on a battery. We had a battery went bad in her bike too, so we're waiting for the dealership to warranty that. And but she normally doesn't like to do Iron Mountain and Needles Highway anyway.
Too curvy.
And
I like the sweeping curves. I don't like the...
The what? The 90s, the switchbacks. So we're going to jump on the bikes now, and we're going to go head up to the first tunnel. So we'll see y'all there. This is our first stop to show you your first view of Mount Rushmore. It's pretty far distance, but I think there might be one more place, a turnout like this might be a little better. We'll go check it out and see if that's true. So this is our second stop that you're going to see Mount Rushmore. You might look behind us and it says Norbeck Overlook. We ain't going that way. We're going to go the other way because that's the one that nobody knows about, because everybody's running down here looking at the overlook. I don't know what the heck you can see over there. Probably nothing. Just open land probably. Here, we're going to go see Mount Rushmore. So hey, here we go. Follow us and we'll take you there. Yep. We're crossing the street. So right now we've driven 5 miles to get to where we're at now. It says only 3 miles to Mount Rushmore, but that don't make no sense.
Well, down the road.
Well, yeah.
As the crow flies.
As the eagle flies.
We are in Dakota. Sorry. My fault.
We're not sure what this is. I think there might be a plaque here. I think we might have read it last time. If this was somebody, if this was, yeah, there you go. They made this here, Norbic Wildlife Preserve. He was the first native governor of South Dakota. So I'm assuming he was Native American. That's what I'm thinking, an Indian. So there you go. You guys can read that if you want. I'm not, but you can. If you didn't get to read it all, you got to pause it. So now we're going to walk across the street here.
Not across.
There we are.
All the way across?
Yeah, to get the best view. So you go down these little steps right here, because we're not showing you the view yet. So you don't get run over by some crazy people coming around these turns. But you can't park over here. There's a helicopter tour. Up there. Okay, helicopter tour. So here you are. Straight across. This is probably one of the best sites to stop and see Mount Rushmore. Got a really good view there. Be better, I don't know which way the sun is. Right now it's pretty much high noon. It's not high noon, but where if you had the sun kind of shining on it, looks like maybe the clouds are kind of overhanging over it. It's not getting as good a light as it has we've seen in the past.
In the morning, the sun would be shining on it.
So that's what Tam says. What says what?
It'd be earlier in the morning, the sun would be shining on it. So.
There you go. So I'll zoom in with the camera and you can take a look at it. But kind of cool. And then you can see down there, there's the road we came up on. Windy, windy, windy. 16A. So we're going to walk back on the side of the road here. Get the camera back straight. So there's where we came across at. Right across here. Like I say, make sure you look both ways so you don't get killed. For us motorcycle driver riders, you know that you got to watch out for the cars. Also got to watch out for some motorcycle people. Some of them are kind of slinking over the lines too at times. Today hasn't been so bad here on Iron Mountain, but when we were on in Custer State Park, I had a truck actually came over the yellow. He was on the riding the yellow, which I kind of ride kind of close myself too. So got to watch that if you're doing ride the inner part of the highway. So there's our bikes. So you walk down there to that overlook. Like I say, we've never done it. There's enough overlooks that we get as we're riding, so I don't think it's any real great shot. But we probably have walked over that somewhere in the 20 years we've been coming out here. We probably have walked up there, but it must have not been enough for me to remember to say, hey, I want to check that out again. I would say probably not.
Probably not. I don't remember it either.
But I know we've stopped here.
We stopped at all. I think
We've stopped here. We've stopped here.
Stopped and just got off the bikes and got back on it.
I mean, the overlook's right there, so it's not that far. He's whapping it out. Weapon, like weapon, web it. So we made it back to Keystone. We were there yesterday, if you watched the video. So we're all done with our rides for today.
2:30.
So it's 2:30. We probably would still have time that we could do needles, but I just don't want any chance of riding back in the dust, dark. We have seen a race bike there, and we've seen deers as early as 6 o'clock being out, so don't want that to happen. Deers and motorcycles don't mix too well.
Nope. What'd you stop and get?
What did you stop? I wouldn't have stopped.
Who's eating?
Who I wouldn't have stopped. And what do you have?
Ice cream cone.
So today we drove about 106 miles from where we started off at, right there at that motel, which is right there at the corner of...
Neck York Road.
What is it again?
Neck York Road.
All right, so we turned there, and that was like a 10-mile ride down to the 79, and then same thing, we got over there, turned to get into Custer, drove all the way through Custer. We ended up going to Custer, coming back, and going to Iron Mountain, did Iron Mountain. Now we just finished up in Keystone. Our time right now is, let me look at my phone, is almost 3 o'clock. We're a couple minutes away from 3 o'clock. So we started out at 8 and went to 3. So if you wanted to cover those 3 things, Custer State Park, do Iron Mountain, and go into Custer and maybe have lunch. We didn't spend a lot of time in Custer. That's why I said that's how much time it took. What do we got there? That's 8?
8 to noon is 4.
7 hours.
Yep,
So that was a 7-hour day, and we still got to get back. So if you were in Sturgis, you got a good hour and 15 minutes from here to get to Sturgis. So we're going to Rapid City. We probably got about 20 minutes or so. We should be in Rapid City. So there you go. And we'll end it up at the campground.
Tell us what you thought about the day.
I had an absolutely wonderful time. Great company and great riding. And I'm glad we stopped at Iron Mountain because I was zoning off into heaven in the ride, and it kind of brought me back to reality. So
The weather was great too.
Oh man, it was great. It was a fantastic day. No rain, just a teeny bit of clouds. Oh,
Yep.
textbook.
Yep.
Right
All
out of the wish list. Yep.
Well, thanks for coming along and ride with us, and thanks for lunch.
Hey, you're welcome, and until next time,
All
we'll do
right.
this again. You know
All
that, right?
Sounds good.
Because you got a while you're here.
I
so.
know.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap the video up right now. It's about 3:10, so it's kind of an early afternoon stop. Maybe I'll get the video done here before it gets too late. It takes about 2 or 3 hours to edit a video. Everybody always wants to know how long that takes. There we go. So we've actually been working all day. So we started filming this morning at about 7:30 when we pulled out of here. 7:45, something like that. So we've pretty much been filming all day long. So people always want to know, what do you guys do? Well, there you go. It's a full day of excitement. We love giving you guys all this great information. Some of the things I want to let you know, if you've never ridden out here, or you never did Iron Mountain, Needles Highway, or some of these other rides that we're showing you. If you're the rider and you got the handlebars in charge, you really can't be looking around. I ended up having a truck came over in my lane just a few minutes ago. We had another truck that kind of rolled the yellow line when I came around a corner. So you really got to be paying attention. I've never slid off the road. I've never gotten close. I've had a few people come in my lane over the years. So you really got to be observant. You can't be looking around and figuring out where you want to go and all that kind of stuff. That's why there's a lot of turnouts. If there's bikes behind you or cars behind you, pull over. Give them a shot to get around you. Nothing wrong with that. I've got nothing wrong with you doing 35 miles an hour on the speed limit. The rest of us out here are wanting to have some fun, 45, 50, whatever somebody wants to ride.
Or if you want to enjoy and actually see the bike hills, use those turnoffs. Stop every one or every other one and just look around and look at all the beauty God's given us.
So just like here on Iron Mountain, we actually had 3 different stops that we made. You know, the first 2 you could see Mount Rushmore. We did stop in each one of the tunnels to kind of get a shot. Sometimes I stop before we get through that last tunnel. Sometimes I go in and kind of walk through there. Today, just getting to be a long day where just things didn't go exactly as I planned. I wanted to do Needles. We didn't make it today, so that's tomorrow's ride. So this is my #1 ride I love is Iron Mountain. I love it because it's so twisty, the turns, seeing the presidents, going through 3 tunnels. It's just a really cool experience. You get up to some really high. One of the places I seen was about 5,300 feet up. I think we're even higher than that in some of the locations. So it's really cool, really enjoyable. I love this ride. I love Black Hills altogether. We got one ride we're going to show you tomorrow. It's just a short one, but on the way to Needles Highway, we're going to show you this little turnout that somebody showed us last year. That it's a really cool little road to get off on. There's actually a really cool barn. You can stop and get a shot of your bike in front of the barn. And if we got enough room there to stop this year, we'll take one and we'll show you where that's at. And maybe you might want to check that out. So tomorrow is we'll do that. We'll go out and we'll go through Keystone again. We're going to probably do a lunch in Keystone because that's another place we want to do the burger challenge. We got a place there. And then we want to get out to Needles Highway, do that. We're going to loop back around to Custer. Then we're going to do the Purple Pie place. Pie there, and then depending on what we do, we might come back and go back through the construction again, through Hill City. I don't know, just depending on how our time runs. But if you didn't get to see that, that's yesterday's video. We show you that, hey, the road's not bad. It's only 1.5 miles. That's packed down really good. It's 100 times better than it was last year. There was boulders out there last year. You could lose your bike in one of the holes they had.
Could have.
So with that, we're going to leave you right here we're actually still in Rapid City. Today, we rode about 120, 125 miles. I didn't zero it out. So that gives you about a thereabouts. But it was...
And it took about 7 hours for us to do all that. So
Yeah.
that gives you an idea. If you're coming out, like a few people said, I'm only coming out for a few days. How long is it going to take me? What can I do? That's a couple things you could do. That's what we did today. We stopped and got gas. We got something to eat. We went to Custer, the city. We went through Custer State Park, and we did Iron Mountain Road. And that was in 7 hours, and there you go.
Yep. And so we didn't stop a whole lot of places. There's other places you could have stopped too. In Custer Park, we really didn't spend a lot of time in the either one of the visitor center. We just kind of jumped in, jumped out. So, you know, you could spend some time looking through all that stuff too. There's a lot of great information. We've done that, been there, done that. Don't need to really read it again. We're more interested in knowing where the bison were at. That was what our goal is when we do it. But we showed you
those Jeeps.
Yeah, Jeeps is a good way. Today they took us around and they kept showing us the darn prairie dogs, and we've seen them guys a dozen times. We don't need to see them anymore. Once you see a guy pop out of a hole, you don't need to see him again. They all look the same. But so the last bisons we found from talking to them at the visitor center, the small one there that has the outhouses out there, the small one right there. They were the ones that said they were at the other end. And then I ended up talking to somebody that had vans. They said, we drove that way, we seen nothing. Well, they must have not made they must have made a turn from someplace else.
Yeah, or they weren't looking. One of the two.
Well, you couldn't hardly miss them.
Well,
they were right on the road.
They saw the donkeys. They were all excited about seeing the donkeys.
I don't know. So there you go. We're going to leave you right here. Like I say, from here, it's probably about another hour to get back to Sturgis if you're in that area. So you'd add about 8 hours to this trip. That would get you back about 4:30. So just depending on what you want to do, might want to be enough time to clean up and do some fun stuff. Now, we did this on a Wednesday. I always recommend if you're going to do Iron Mountain, Needles Highway, Spearfish, any of those rides, you should do them in the first 3 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. As we get closer to the weekends, you get the tourists out. You got the locals off on the weekends. Spearfish is impossible. We made a bad mistake last year of doing some of the waterfalls
on a Saturday,
and it was just too many people.
Yep.
But if you like a crowd, do it on Saturday.
There you go. It's up to you.
At that, we're going to leave you right here in Rapid City at the campground that we're staying at.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to support our sponsors. They'll be coming up here at the end. Tell them Bob and Tam sent you if you go visit them and say hi to them. And I also want to give a big shout out to Chip for coming on the ride with us. And thank you for lunch. And to his wife Sally, who gave me a whole bunch of headbands, scarves, bandanas. I'm really excited about getting in and seeing what those are. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
Because somebody has to wear all the proper colors.
That's right. They got to match, right?
There you go. See you tomorrow.
Bye.